Hey everybody, Jarrett here, back at it again with this scout only until we get an Australium challenge. Not really a challenge, but this week we're doing Gear Grinder, Expert MvM, so we can become MvM experts finally. I've been trying so long to become an MvM expert certified at MvM University, MvMU, we call it. But we're doing that this week. Last week I asked you guys the question of the day: what was your first Australium? And if you haven't gotten one, what do you want as your first? And this week's chosen comment was from Lord of Lilligant, saying that he ended up getting Australium Scattergun on his first tour of Steel Trap a few months back. And that's crazy. Steel Trap. I only played one tour of that as well myself, 6 missions. I just wanted the badge from it. But getting an Australium, that's pretty sick from that tour, and a Scattergun no less. And all this talk about Australians made me wonder. This week's question of the day: if there were a new Australium released, what do you think it should be? Oh, you maybe want a black box, maybe you want the shortstop here. Who knows? Anyways, we're on wave 1 of Mannslaughter in Manworks, I believe the map is. And I was excited to do Gear Grinder because I thought I was going to be able to show more of the mobbing this week, as opposed to 2 cities where I don't get to show as much of the mobbing on account of, wanted to keep these videos a certain length, around under an hour. But there were a lot of fails. It got pretty frustrating towards, really just the beginning. The end of the tour went pretty smoothly, but the beginning was quite rough. And people just didn't want to leave. I've got that rule where I don't want to leave unless 2 or more people have left. And people tend not to leave the expert tours for whatever reason. Maybe they just expect to fail. But I don't know. Even people who have experience tend not to leave until you've, failed a few times already. But these missions are pretty unique. The way that they become more difficult than other missions. That's not Sydney Sniper killing me right there, just doing a 180 to me. Almost losing some money here too. It's hard to keep up with the money because everything gets so spread out very quickly, and it's very hard not to die as a scout. I've said before, you shouldn't be dying as a scout if you can help it, and that's true. You shouldn't be, but it's very hard not to. There's a lot of spam going on. Gear Grinder gets its difficulty from spamming typically a lot of giants at once. So we've got these giant crit soldiers. They don't shoot very fast, but 2 of them come out at a time. 2 of them are right behind them in tow. And your team has to be on top of that, has to be putting out a lot of damage in order to stay at the front and keep all the money in one place. Otherwise, it's just going to be appearing everywhere. All these little bots, like these little crit scouts, are going to be dropping money in random places. It's not really random. They follow a path at the beginning of each wave in this map. Actually, in all of them, I think. Yeah, in all of them in the Gear Grinder tour. They go one way or the other. They do that in Mecha Engine too. And, they tend to follow that, but they do stray. They do deviate somewhat. So it can be difficult to keep up with the money if your team's just killing bots everywhere and they aren't picking the money up themselves. And yeah, that happens quite a lot. I did get a few perfect waves, but no perfect games for these first couple missions. And here's our first failure. Took to wave 2 to get it. And then people just start switching out classes a lot in these less defined tours, I guess I would say. Like, people understand what the meta is in 2 cities, and they tend to follow it. Failing again here. We have somebody leaving as well, but not 2 people leaving, so I ready up again and just stick with it. I'm getting a little angry now that our team's just picking pyro, and the engineer's not putting a sentry on the bomb. Usually he's moving it up there. We make it through to wave 2 barely here. And now we have 12 scouts, 12 giant scouts to contend with for wave 3. But we did get an A+. What was I saying though? Something about people swapping classes. I don't know what I was saying. Probably wasn't important if I don't remember. And now we have one of our teammates timing out. You also tend to play with the same players a lot in these tours. It's just less frequented. Well, that's what I was talking about. The darn meta. Yeah, there is a meta for Gear Grinder. Probably for Mecha Engine too. I've played a lot less Mecha Engine. A lot less. We'll be playing that this series and learning that a bit though. Trying to kill the scout here, failing miserably. Just not hitting my shots. I mean, he had a lot of health anyway. But yeah, there is a meta for Gear Grinder. People just tend to throw it by the wayside or they don't know it. I don't understand. We're failing again here. We just failed a lot this first mission. And finally, well, that guy just kept connecting and disconnecting and reconnecting and disconnecting. And so we were playing with one player down, which you need. And finally, we lose two people. So I just take that as an excuse to peace on out. Bye. See you guys later. Let's requeue. Starting back on wave 1 of Mannslaughter again. I didn't queue specifically for Mannslaughter. I think it tends to give you the same mission that you are working on. And yeah, this one we had an AFK soldier not a soldier. His name is Soldier. He was AFK the whole wave though. We get rid of him. Bye. Get out of here. We'll get a new person. There's always backfills for your grinder. People always leave that mission in progress tick box ticked. I forgot what I was saying again. Awful commentary. Starting back on wave 1 again though. This was just so hard to get. I believe I completed on this mission though. We do beat Mannslaughter eventually. Having more heavies. The metas of Gear Grinder is just, you know, a bunch of heavies, engineer, scout. That's pretty much it. Play a pyro, play sniper too. Sniper is a very important class in Expert. It's just going to be, you know, your highest damager. Not really your highest damage. You're just going to be able to get rid of the most spots, you know, in giant groups. He fills the role that Demo Man does in 2 cities because Demo Man just does not do it very well in Gear Grinder. Even though people, I'm sure they know the order at which bots come in, but it just doesn't work as well. Here I am. This is what I was talking about earlier. Trying to get the engineer to move his buildings to the right because that's where the bots are going to move. That's where they're going to gravitate towards, especially the bomb carrying ones, which are the important ones. Speaking of bomb carrier, you see that little symbol between my health and my ammo that tells you where the bomb is and if it's being carried or not. And it's been a while since I played Gear Grinder, so I was really rusty at it. But you do want to be paying attention to that at all times. Several times throughout this tour, I do not pay attention to it, and the bomb gets dropped off when perhaps it was preventable. But I digress. We're doing a lot better at this wave 2. We have, you know, like I said, heavies. I don't know why people are playing pyro. Pyro's, like, if you want to play pyro on MvM, this is the tour to do it in, because there are lots of tanks to deal with. I think Mecha Engine is the same way too. You can play pyro pretty safely in that. But this guy's just playing pyro at not a very opportune time. You know, we'd be doing a lot more comfortable if we had a heavy dishing out extra damage. Here I am keeping track of the bomb too. Like I said, you gotta be on top of that. Engineer is supposed to be responsible for that. When the bomb falls behind where your team wants to be fighting, you're supposed to be putting your sentry gun on top of the bomb, leaving it alone, letting it kill the scouts, the soldiers. And we're going to be searching for money at the end of this wave. Where is it at? Oh, we lose 10. Well, that stinks. Like I said, it's hard to keep up with money. And now I'm trying to get my team to... Engie moves his buildings to the right, because he realized, like, oh, the bots move to different places. And I'm trying to get him to the left, and he just doesn't move the dispenser there. I don't know where it ended up being. But we're keeping up with the scouts. When the tanks come out, I tend to try to get my team not to kill the one that's going the path that the scouts are running. See, they're always running to the left side here. That's where the signs indicated they would run. Don't kill the tank that goes on the left. I'm shooting at it because I forgot about that, but that is something to think about if you're ever on Gear Grinder. It's good to leave the tank that's going the path that the bots are going to the last, because he can help block the scouts and just really congest stuff there. But you see we failed because we let the scout go by. This time the heavy swat to the Natasha. I feel like I've done that before. It's pretty clever. Keeping those giant scouts in check. Luckily they're running on the left side again, which I think is easier to keep up with. The two sides are different. You know, it's not mirrored, it's not symmetrical. You know, it wouldn't make any sense for them to run different ways otherwise, would it? But this side is a bit better. They all kind of just get on that bridge, and you can't, you can control where they move at that. We get rid of the final tank, pick up all the money from that. But the money explodes up and out too, so you gotta be looking up, like on the catwalk that I was. You know, I could have missed that stuff easily. Luckily I don't though. I also feel like in Gear Grinder the bots aggro you a lot quicker. So you'll notice I'm being a lot more evasive than I would in Two Cities. But body blocking is still a thing. If you get them to pay attention to somebody else. And we're stopping the bomb here. If you get the giants to pay attention to somebody else, you can still body block them. And it'll take a while before they think of you. But yeah, if you just run up to them like I am here. I die a lot doing stuff like this. But you know, I just get impatient. You know, nobody's perfect. We'll keep him blocked here for a second though. But he's looking at me, so I'm going to back off. Just let the mark, you know, deal some extra damage to him. The pyro dying, of course, standing in front of the heavy. Because that's what you do. You stand in front of people and you shoot your flames. I'm a smart player. I'm a smart TF2 player. And I throw gas. Out here I am trying to get this in. I know I'm not supposed to be talking to people. But we just got so many close calls with these support scouts. They are infinite. You know, they're never going to stop coming until the wave is beaten. And yeah, see, like the sentry is supposed to be on that bomb, stopping them from just backcapping like that. Also, I know I've said this on Two Cities as well, like it's important for the scout to be getting rid of the snipers, but it is very important for the scout to be getting rid of the snipers. They come out in droves on Gear Grinder, on every map that they're on. The sniper can also deal with them, but sometimes the sniper's just not at a good angle and you have a lot of mobility to go take care of them. Not getting a perfect wave again, but we're progressing through the mission, so I'm satisfied so far. This next one, we got 11 giant demos, 6 pyros. They're not, you know, it's just like Two Cities. The giant demo men aren't very threatening. They do have uber medics attached to them towards the end of the wave, though. So that has to be dealt with, usually by the sniper. I guess by our gas pyro, too, since he's going to assist on doing that. But this wave, not so difficult. Just a lot of little bots, some giants to take care of. I'm also playing in Europe at this time. Pretty much this whole mission, a whole tour I'm doing in Europe. I typically get into European lobbies when I queue early morning, which I did this time. I wanted to get all 3 of these missions banged out and get the video edited. But I had to, you know, it took me a while because it was just, you know, very grating to fail over and over again. I have a hard time carrying on Scout. I don't know if anybody can, like even if they're good at Scout, can they just solo carry missions? But that's certainly like a goal that I'm trying to set for myself. I want to do enough damage where, you know, even very, very poor quality teammates can help me beat the mission. But then again, you see Taco Bot players, and you know, they'll beat missions with only a pair of them in there, and they don't play Scout, so I don't know if Scout can really carry so hard. But you know, I picked Scout because I didn't really play a whole lot of Scout throughout my MvM career. I don't know what word to use. All my playtime in MvM though, I played quite a little bit of Scout, so I wanted to maybe just do Scout this time for this video series, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Scout is very fun to play. I just wish I had more of an impact damage wise. But now we're rounding out wave 4 onto the final wave. Nothing too crazy for the final wave. It's just 16 giants, 4 tanks, This is you know, the time that you need a pyro. He's not playing Flog Pyro though, which is strange. I don't know if the Dragon's Fury does more damage to tanks or not, but Scout also does quite a bit of damage to tanks, so I should be able to assist him sufficiently. We also have the NG and direct hit soldier. I advise against playing soldier on this wave. Typically there are 60 pyros as you can see, and they are good at air blasting your rockets, and they will get your teammates killed. I've seen it happen many a time. I have 50 tours even on Gear Grinder on my main account. So this will be my 51st, but like I said, it'd been a while, so I'm not as well acquainted. I did play Scout throughout that time, but I wasn't playing the same style of Scout that I'm playing now. I'm definitely a lot better at it just after a few tours even. It's crazy to me. You know, people seem to be really bad after they play 10 tours, 8 tours. That's a lot of gameplay for you to still be bad at MVM, but I don't want to, you know, be mean to people. You know, some of them just, you know, some people, some's got it, some ain't, and they can be taught and they can be advised. Not me, not for me though, because I'm not advising people on this challenge that I'm doing. I'm not talking to anybody, and it really helps to be able to talk to people when you're playing Gear Grinder. When I was playing 50 tours of it, I was just looking for Australiums. That's why I was playing Gear Grinder exclusively for a while. But I was able to just tell people over and over again what to do, where to stand, what to play. NG, put your sentry on the bomb, please. Leave it there. Played a lot of NG2s. Gear Grinder's just good fun. And I'm going to, throughout this series, rotate between, you know, Gear Grinder, Mech Engine, Two Cities. I don't want it to become too stale. Here we are trying to stop this demo man. He almost gets in there. This last wave is crazy, by the way. So right after you see those two of those tanks get right there near the hole, and from there all hell breaks loose. We got bots just coming right, left, and center, trying to get into the hole. I'm trying to mark the one carrying the bomb each time, but it's just too much to look at. So much visual noise. Dying from Sydney snipers. I can't afford to go back and deal with them right now. There's just too many people in the bomb. All this damage is helping everybody out. We got Fisted Steel Heavies coming. Oh, there's 2 or 3 of them coming up right now. That guy's taunting. Another one has the bomb on his back. Now the demo man's running for the bomb right. Oh, we gotta mark him, kill him. Oh, another Fist of Steel Heavy coming up right now. Total chaos. That sentry buster getting rid of our sentry gun and almost killing our teammates. I died of afterburn. There's still the bomb wanting to go in the hole. Our team's just holding together by the skin of our teeth right now. And we gotta start to stabilize right here at this point. Get rid of the giant rapid fire demo man. And yeah, now we have some room to breathe. The NG probably getting set back up right now. That's going to help us keep the bomb covered. But our sniper doing work here. Like I said, he's a very important class. Very easy to get a lot of damage put out and a lot of bots killed. Now we just have the couple pyros left, all these demo knights left, and the 2 tanks, and whatever support that gets thrown out. Just going to be snipers, but they are quite annoying to deal with, those snipers, as you saw in that little hectic scene there. Just killing you from afar randomly. Now we blow up the first tank. That guy lets the tank run over a sentry for some reason. We blow up the second tank, and now there's just a few demo men to deal with. And that is the end of our first mission in Gear Grinder. And what's the loot looking like? You notice it's a lot less visually appealing than Two Cities. 1 box each. Usually you get a weapon. Sometimes you get a hat. Here we get our badge. We're officially an MvM expert, but not really. It's got to be level 2. We have to have completed a tour before we're experts. A little trick for when you're queuing for Gear Grinder. It takes a while. If you queue for casual, you almost always just get a Gear Grinder queue. I don't know why that works. It's not a real thing, but it just, you know, whenever I'm like tired of waiting on the Gear Grinder queue, I'll queue for casual, and then boom, I'll join the casual queue and then get a Gear Grinder notification right afterwards. But now we're on Coal Town. We're playing, what is this mission? Cataclysm, I think. Yeah, Coal Town Cataclysm. And this first mission going worse than the Mannslaughter one. We don't have an NG, you'll notice. that's in this series. I've played without a heavy, very unusual, and I played without an NG, essential, but I haven't played a mission without a pyro yet. So that's just great. I love MvM players. I don't know when this happened. Like, Pyro's always been a problem ever since Jungle Inferno and he got the gas passer, and there's an update to MvM adding upgrades to the gas passer. And there I am too. I'm trying to, like, get money, and I'm trying to stop the bomb from getting in the hole, and I need to get the money. They're not picking up the money if we do pass this wave. I just cannot. I'm spread too thin. I couldn't do it. And we fail this wave, and I ready up instantly. And during this whole process, I recognize that we're probably not going to succeed, but nobody's leaving, and I cannot leave until 2 people leave. And I'm just trying to ready up instantly, not say anything. Well, of course I'm not saying anything. Trying to get people, to get frustrated, but it doesn't really work. They keep readying up. Now I think we end up getting 2 demos here in a second, picking up all the money. Missing 12 credits. It's just too hard. But we'll get our upgrades. We'll finish our movement speed and our jump height, and we'll become the quintessential scout. Now we have wave 2, just a bunch of starting out with a bunch of Scooty Booty men. We still don't have an engineer, so we're gonna have to chase down that scout. But there's another one coming right behind him, and there will be another one behind him in a second. And I don't have my shortstop upgraded at all, so it's got a long reload. I only have 4 shots. Barely get that guy. A spy almost killing me on the way. You'll notice there's another super scout behind me with the bomb, and I need to go get him. I was trying to pick the wrong super scout to get. They blow him up, though. The other one that I was trying to kill comes back, but he's not very low. I didn't do a whole lot of damage to him, so he's going to pick up the bomb, and he's going to jump in the hole. And that's another failed wave where we don't have an NG. And we still don't have an NG for this replay of the wave. And the scout just got by us again and jumped in the hole. And now we're gonna people getting toxic. They call a vote kick on that medic, and somebody else leaves. And now this guy's asking the demo man to change to heavy, to which he replies, "Suck me expletive." Don't know what that's all about. And then he gets a vote kick called against him. And I'm just like, dude, this is not gonna happen. I need to get out of this mission right now. And we fail again after we ready up because we are down a player. We finally get an NG. Somebody rejoined, but he wasn't a very quality NG, and 2 people left, so I immediately take that opportunity and leave. I took a break for a while, then I come back. And one of the guys that I was playing with hours earlier stood back in. What was his darn name? Adam. Yeah, there. He's back. We're only 5 players right now. So, trying to make this work again. I'm a little refreshed. I've eaten since the last time I failed. But it's not going a whole lot better immediately. We failed the first wave. But hopefully somebody will join us. Nope, they won't. They'll leave, and we'll be 2 players down. This guy, another AFK player. This also happens a lot in Gear Grinder. That does not happen in 2 cities, really. Is people will join, and they'll just never pick a class. They just go AFK. Hold on, I need to take a sip here. My throat is a little sore. But people will very often not pick a class and just remain AFK. And you can't kick somebody mid-wave. And they can join mid-wave, but you cannot kick them mid-wave, which is just silly. Probably some anti-toxicity measure that they did. A lot of anti-toxic updates to MvM over the course of its lifetime. You can't inspect people's upgrades, which I wish you could do still, because that would help make the series more educational, but that's neither here nor there. So, but we beat wave 1 now. We just have a few soldiers to contend with. We have a medic. Medic's not recommended for expert. He didn't have the projectile shield when Gear Grinder was out. 2 cities after Gear Grinder and all the base MvM missions. And so it was designed without the projectile shield in mind, and you do not need it, and you do not need the heals. You can get health on kill, that's good enough, and me tossing milk on groups like that, the sniper doesn't kill them, will give you plenty of health. But we beat wave 1. I missed some money. You know, it's gonna happen. We got somebody missing, and you know it's hard to. We kick this guy, and then we get an NG with 300 some odd tours in. Later on, we don't get him immediately. The wave starts up. You know, I'm readying up still. Sniper taking out all those medics, nice and clean. Heavy aggroing on me immediately though, and you know, need to kind of get out of there. You need to be careful. Heavy will melt me. You typically don't have a lot of help in Gear Grinder. I mean, you can. You know, it's not like it's never that you have 500 some odd health, but you know, there's a lot of times where I'm walking around with 150 health, 125 health too. So, you know, you just have to be very careful around heavies. Using the shove feature of the shortstop there as well. Pretty happy with that, how that turned out. I've never really used that since the shortstop got that ability added to it. This is a funny little scenario. I'm out of ammo and I'm trying to sit on the spot and trying to body block the scouts. You can't really do that. I mean, I think you can, but it's just tricky to do, to just block them out in the open like that. They're going to try and run around you. Pyro helping me out though. When I have no ammo, I'm just marking them, trying to do my best. Running straight into the heavy there like a smart guy. Then I run straight into him again with 400 health. But we managed to clutch it there. We managed not to lose it all. And then we get the NG, and he puts a sentry on the bomb. My goodness, I can't believe it. It's so basic. It's basic knowledge, and he's doing it. And I was so happy. I could tell immediately when that guy joined. And look at that, I get an A+ too. I could tell that guy was going to make the mission a lot easier. And we do fail, I think, once more in this mission, but the rest of this mission just went so much better because we had an NG that just knew the basics. And I know there's no way to learn the basics without playing the game. Perhaps you could watch a video like this about how to play NG, but you know, that might be dull for you, and I would understand that if you thought that. But yeah, just NG is a super important class, super essential to the success of the rest of your team. You know, it gives you ammo, his sentry gun, you can do a lot of shenanigans with it. He can kill, you know, giant scouts and medics with sentry busters. It's just super important to have an NG and be an NG. And if you pick them and you don't know what you're doing, or if you make, you know, extremely suboptimal building placement and whatnot, then you're just going to make things hard for the rest of us. Yeah, we do fail. The pyro not using the flog here, and yeah, the tank just drops a bomb in there, and there's nothing we can do about it. I tried to help him out, but maybe I could have shot the tank a little bit more. But really, the pyro should be able to solo the tank, but this time he probably made some upgrades, and everybody else was assisting him a bit more with the tank. Made different upgrades. The pyro didn't, I mean. But this time we get the tank before it drops the bomb in there. And you can kill this tank really late before the bomb gets dropped. It's pretty generous about it. So I knew we were going to get it there. Picking up the money, marking that heavy. He dies. That's the end of wave 3. And we're on to wave 4. And now we pretty much need a flog pyro here. Like the flamethrower is just not going to cut it. It's not going to do as much damage as the flog can do. And one of the other players swapped that guy off of, you know, forced him off of pyro by picking pyro and going flog pyro. And that guy, he didn't say anything in chat the whole time, but he did swap to heavy. He was a fair sport about it. But yeah, that pyro going to be able to do a lot more to the tanks because he can get crits every once in a while. And Scout does a lot of damage to tanks too. I'm not sure if he could actually solo one or not. I don't think so. Definitely not the big tanks. The tanks do have different health. The ones with stripes on them have a lot of health, and these kind of like mono-colored ones have a little bit less health. So Scott might be able to solo them, but I really doubt it. But he definitely, you know, helps out a lot on the tanks. The shortstop just doing lots of work. We got the giant heavy here. We're gonna help the NG take care of him while the pyro takes care of the tank. Gonna be quite easy, but he is looking at me, so I'm gonna have to play this safely. get all the money from the tank lest it get left behind. And then I get a crits here, which I was really happy about. Like, I never get crits, no matter how many times I scream medic. The medics just don't want to crits me, but, you know, I don't really even need it anyway. It's just something to feel good about. But here we are starting wave 5. We got 10 giant scouts and 6 giant soldiers and 100 demo knights to contend with. But this wave is absolutely trivial, honestly. I mean, the scouts can get behind you, and I think I think we fail this one too. We might fail this one too. But the scouts can get behind you, but if you're just on top of it, then this wave is easy. The demo man pros no problem, and you want to be on top of the snipers too. They can just ruin your stuff, ruin your day. And you'll see, yeah, every time that they spawn, you can see them, you know, they'll start scoping in and you can see their lasers plainly. And there's the NG killing a giant scout with the buster. So really cool how it works. We only have 2 giant soldiers left. Yeah, we don't fail this one. We almost do. Yeah, here I am chasing down the scout. Something only a scout can do, and I hit my shots and I dispatch them quickly. And now I'm sitting in a spot that will body block the scouts from running past. Courtesy of the engineer, he actually showed me this just by, you know, implicitly saying we need a sentry here. And he wanted the heavy to stand there, I think, but I took his place. Scout can do it just fine. But that's the end of wave 5, and now we're on to wave 6. And I was hoping the sniper would swap to spy. There's a strat here where spy will kill those giant medics in, you know, 4 or 5 stabs. I think it's 5. And you know, it makes killing the heavies a lot easier, but we do it with sniper here and it works out fine. It's not something that you need to do. And I do a lot of damage to that giant medic at first, but now I'm out of bullets, so I'm just gonna give him a mark and give the next one a mark and go get some bullets. Kill this guy, which you can body block. He's paying attention to somebody else. And see this NG with his sentry, he's blocking the scouts, you know, because they run on the right side of the map, according to the signs earlier. And, you know, that sentry spot, you know, gonna block the scouts. It's really easy to keep it up there. It's so helpful to have stuff like that when you're playing MvM. You want people that know what they're doing. You want at least, I'd say, 2 people that know what they're doing, and, you know, any mission becomes doable if you have other people in here. No matter what class the 2 people are playing, if they know what they're doing, if they're communicating and talking to the other players especially, it's done for. And you'll see, that's why the spy strat is helpful too, because the medics do not pop. They're a quick fix if a spy is stabbing him in the back, but, you know, it didn't really end up causing us too much trouble. And now we're on the final wave of Coal Town Cataclysm, starting off with a giant tank that we are all going to open fire on immediately. And we're just going to melt him. The sniper went soldier for this occasion. And he's going to pop some, I think that's a conch that he gave us. Yeah, we got some movement speed. We got some Ubered scouts. And we're going to have some Ubered heavies drop. But as far as final waves, well, this one's kind of just a consolation prize for making it to the end. It's another pretty easy wave. Mostly in Gear Grinder, the early waves tend to be the challenging ones. In my experience, those are the ones that you'll fail on the most often. Well, here we are about to blow up the second tank of 6 of them. They keep coming. Those giant heavies don't come out until I think the last tank. And then, you know, it's supposed to be challenging. Oh, what do we concentrate our efforts in? But it's just over and done with. You know, the tanks are too easy to blow up. The heavies are really slow. Maybe if it were scouts, it would be more challenging. But not even really, because, you know, we'd just kill the scouts and then we'd kill the tank. So this wave, nothing crazy. Taking care of the snipers, they can still throw a wrench in your plans if you aren't careful about it at all. But yeah, this wave, just shooting tanks. And I didn't want to skip it like I do with the 2 cities one, because there's a lot going on in the midst of that, and you have to kill all these bots. Whereas on that one Rottenburg 2 cities mission where there are 3 tanks on the last wave, those are the only 3 things that you have to kill to pass the wave. So people, you know, just blitz the tank and they'll leave all the other bots and we'll just kind of let them run past us. But this one we have to kill all these heavies, we have to kill all these scouts and soldiers and huntsmen, and it is quite quite nice to kill them. And I was able to display some mobbing more than 2 cities throughout the course of this. There's just a lot of failure too, which I don't mind showing failure either. Uh, you know, maybe you're doing the things that are leading to failures in your games, or maybe you can recognize it at least if you're not the one doing it, and you can help your team out with some knowledge. But here we are, last bit of the wave. We'll take care of these heavies. Easy to approach them from behind and just lay into them with the shortstop. It is very satisfying to shoot the shortstop when you have it well upgraded. We don't have it full upgraded right now because I didn't pick up quite enough money to get it nice and good, but I did go back at one point when I died, got me some firing speed. We have max damage, max clip size, and then we beat the wave. And this guy, somebody had a squad surplus, and I get a little hat from it, and that's nice. Those are $3. You should never do that. That meant getting 2 hats. That's crazy. You should never apply squad surplus, so that is just a waste of money. $3, and you give everybody a weapon. Even on 2 cities. You know, 2 cities you don't get extra parts or anything. Here we are on, what's it called? Hold on. Damn it. I'm looking in my footage here. Oh, this one's Coal Town. No, this is Desperation Decoy. Okay, this is Desperation on the map decoy. And yeah, this team started off really rough, but nobody left, and we all you know, get it together here. But this first wave we fail. The guy, our NG, had his building up top for some reason, and their sniper swapped from sniper on the second try. But on this third try here, that guy, as I zoomed in on, he swapped a spy, which is a very good class to pick for this. You could play the whole mission on spy, and it's really good. This guy does not end up doing that, but it does make the first wave a lot easier. And those guys just kind of scooting across the ground. I love those demo knights. I love all the demo men in MvM. I don't know. They're great. Look at that. He's wearing a crown. He looks like King Raja, I think his name is. The TF2 YouTuber. Making high quality videos right off the bat, but I don't think he does anymore. You can see me running away from his charge because on the other death there, the guy snuck around the corner and jump scared me. That was very funny. But we do beat wave 1. All we have is some bonk scouts to take care of. You know, we dispatch them. It's not our last failure, but the important thing is we, you know, nobody left, and we adjusted, and everybody, you know, handled it well. Not just a bunch of random swaps. Like I putting a sentry there to block the giant scouts. Upon my request, a scout does end up getting past. They can just kind of jump over the sentry sometimes. I'm not sure if you can put it elsewhere to kind of block them. Maybe at the corner of this, this corner here that I was just at. Could put it there. But, yeah, it's not a big deal. Wave 2, that heavy sneaks off into the side room, and it is a little challenging when, you know, the bots walk off to the right, because, yeah, the giants will just kind of sneak off, and they'll flank you, basically. You know, your team won't be paying attention, they'll be shooting at stuff up front, and suddenly that giant heavy shooting at whomever, and, yeah, they die very quickly. And, yeah, the right is the harder one in this mission. And we fail. Like I said, the sentry failed to block the scout. No big deal. This time the bots are going left, so we won't have anybody sneaking off into the back rooms now. Gonna jump on this heavy and give them the business. Oh yeah, look at that. Just delicious stuff. I didn't, you know, I was saying earlier, the scout does, you know, doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but he still plays a vital role in the damage that he does and the killing that he does. You know, he focuses on things that other classes, you know, cannot or should not be focusing on. And it is very important to be, you know, active as you can on Scout, doing whatever you can in between collecting money, paying attention to the bottom left of what money's on the ground and what's not, and what's expired, for how long it's been there. And the end of this wave just being, you know, nothing. So nothing for me to do but just kind of help out. But you can do a lot of stuff on Scout, and you can do a lot of support damage and a lot of, you know, milking and marking giants whenever it's convenient. I wouldn't go out of your way to mark giants on Gear Grinder in particular, because they can turn around and just swat you like a fly. But it is something that you should be doing if you can get away with it. Sneak up behind them. There's usually some geography you can maneuver around and get behind the bots pretty easily. And but here we are in wave 3. Just some snipers to deal with, and the giant soldier and the fist of steel heavies, which can be quite troublesome. They use them liberally in Gear Grinder, but we can get rid of those guys easy peasy. Some support pyros coming from up top. Like I said, those bots will flank you from up there. They'll gank you, bro. But now I'm just killing these snipers and pyros popping up, and I feel like I should pick up some money and help deal with the soldier. You can still mark Ubered targets, by the way, with the Fan of War, so it is worth swinging at them while they're Ubered. You know, somebody should ideally be taking care of the Uber before it gets popped, but we have another perfect wave. I haven't been touching on that, but this mission just went perfectly. It went so smoothly after the first few fails. And it really says something about Gear Grinder when, you know, a few fails and I still count it being smoothly. Sometimes Gear Grinder's just rough. It doesn't have to be. It's not very hard, actually, if you have, you know, 3 people that are playing important classes and know what they're doing. You know, Gear Grinder's going to be a cakewalk. It's Expert is really a kind of a joke, but you know, newer players and their weird upgrades and their, you know, their weird class selections, and the Gear Grinder just can become very difficult. There is a lot of giants to deal with, and they're always shooting crits. And yeah, it can be difficult. That's all there is to say about it. But I'm not having too hard of a time here. I'm not sweating it. We're taking out the tank. We only have 2 giant soldiers to take care of. We're just going to walk right up to them, give them some milk, give them a whack, do a bunch of damage to them, and beat the wave. That's wave 4 done. Now we have wave 5. Looks similar to that Coal Town wave, doesn't it? With the 4 giant medics and 4 giant deflector heavies. And like I say, you can pick spy here as well. It's a little bit more difficult because the pyros are going to be surrounding them. But you can always just, if you're the type of person who wants a canteen, you can buy an Uber canteen and stab them in the back over and over again. There I was trying to mark the heavy. When I died running up to the heavy, I thought our medic had a projectile shield up, and I was going to whack him and run behind it, but the shield was taken down or expired or what have you. I got turning around on me. Yeah, I did this. This wave was a little cumbersome for me. I did a little bit, one too many mistakes, but we don't fail, and that's all that matters. Body blocking the heavy there. Almost getting murked by the heavy again. They're very lethal, these heavies. Almost getting killed by a spy here. Marking this heavy, I fall down in the cliff, speaking of spies, and I'm trying to get out, and I see the spy. I kill that one. I try to jump over this one, and he stabs me? How? I don't know. That was some stabby stuff right there, an understab. But that was ridiculous. I was screaming when I died there. Like I was the scout screaming, ah! Yeah. But that's the end of wave 5. Wave 6 coming up. Somebody picking up the money for me, and we get the bonus. Looking good. Looking good. We have a lot of money to play with. We already got our shortstop fully upgraded. And we're just going to get some recharge on our milk so we can toss it a little bit more often. This Pyro and I having a politeness battle. But he ends up losing it because I am the more polite person and I am more patient than him. Just watch. You get on there. You play Pyro on TF2. You have no patience and you are not polite. There's not even any tanks in this. Regardless, we have 16 giant soldiers to deal with this wave. And now that we have the shortstop, really beefy, it's going to be quite easy to get rid of them and to get rid of these snipers that are going to body shot us if we don't do something about them. I think the other two ran off elsewhere. The snipers are also sneak off and just, walk up on that roof I was just looking at and walk in these weird spots, and you gotta look out for their lasers. You'll see me do that sometimes in the video, even if I don't point it out. I'll see the sniper laser and I'll immediately start, stop what I'm doing and go take care of the sniper, because the snipers can just really mess everything up for everybody. They kill our medic, then our team might have been relying on the medic. They shouldn't be, but they might have been. 10 more soldiers left. We're going to try and mark this one, blow him up. This wave is very busy for scout. The soldiers come at a constant rate. It's really fun, Gear Grinder. I encourage you, if you haven't played it, to just give it a go. It's really awesome to get to play Gear Grinder, even if you run in front of people and die. Like you're playing Pyro, I don't know, I guess, as a brain tumor infected me there for a second, and then I get stuck and I can't get out. So now I have to respawn again, run up to the guy, give him a mark, blow him up, blow up these snipers. The medic giving me a thanks for it. He's got an Australian Blutsauger. I didn't notice that at the time. He must have earned it, because who would ever buy that thing? And I wouldn't even equip it, to be honest. That's got to be the worst Australium. I'm sure everybody agrees with that. I mean, you could argue that the SMG is worse, but the SMG isn't unusable. The Blutsauger is unusable. That's the end of Wave 6. Enough about the bad Australiums. We don't play this for Australiums. We play it because we love MvM. You shouldn't play for Australiums. In this case, I am playing for Australiums, but, don't point that out, okay? Last wave here of the last mission. We got ourselves a bunch of giants and 2 tanks to deal with. This first tank, though, coming pretty much all by its lonesome. By the time the other bots come out and start to support it, it is already dead. We have a Widowmaker on it, we have a Flog on it, we have a shortstop on it, and we have a soldier shooting at it. It is just toast. It is a toaster. Toaster down. Now the wave kind of slowing down a bit, to be honest. I feel like they could have made this wave a little bit more compact in its spacing. We'll only get a couple heavies coming out at a time, the soldiers coming out, and a pretty consistent stream. Crits from the shortstop, they kind of work like the minigun, like where you just get a few seconds of crits. The minigun or the pistol, and whenever you start critting with the shortstop, it is deadly. You do a lot of damage. If I were to buy crit canteens in this challenge, then I would be doing a lot more damage, I guarantee you. The problem with crit canteens, though, is like you use them and whatever you're using it on dies, and that's it. And then you have crits left over and there's not really anything to shoot at. It makes it a little too easy. Always messing up my reloads. And it's like I think that the reload's going to complete before it does. The scouts coming out now. The giant scouts were not coming in between the giants very often. But now they start to come out here towards the end of the wave. But it's too late. We're already stable. We're like a stable element. We're like a stable horse, a stable boy. I don't know. Just the scouts deal with the soldiers, and then we shoot the tank, and then we get to see the loot. Oh, what do you think I'm gonna get this time, guys? What do you think? I know what I got, because this is in the past. And the past is what I experienced already. But I'm not going to spoil anything yet, because the drop is coming very, very soon now. Soldiers dropping down. Just 2 more soldiers left. And now all we have is a tank to deal with. And I'd like to say thank you again to everybody for the wonderful comments you gave me. I got a lot of answers to the question of the day, and I got a lot of nice comments, and I just really appreciate the support on the videos so far. I'm happy to make them. I have a lot of fun making them. But as we blow up the tank here, we're going to check out everybody's loot. I was first, but I skipped over myself, so you can't get spoiled by it too much. I'm second to last here. Why is that, you think? I got a diamond minigun. This guy, getting an Australium. Third episode of our thing, we at least get to see an Australium, a knife. Mid-tier. Mid-tier. But again, thank you to everybody for watching this video. Thank you to everybody for, leaving comments and leaving likes. I hope you enjoy the series. I'm going to continue making it. I'm going to continue swapping it up. But yeah, thank you to everybody so much. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now.